Haisai Uchinanchu and Uchinanchu supporters. Yesterday I sent a message to Governor Denny Tamaki just to let him know about the press conference and rally we are planning for January 7th, the last day of the petition to the White House. This press conference and rally will be held in front of the White House in Washington, D.C. So yes, I will be traveling to Washington. So I sent Governor Tamaki a message just to let him know about our upcoming plans. And he responded, and he said it was okay for me to share his message with you. So first, I will be reading to you his message in Japanese because that is the language he wrote it in. And then afterwards, I will be reading to you an English translation. So here is the message from Governor Denny Tamaki. ロバートさん、ありがとうございます。そして、今回の署名プロジェクトで沖縄を愛する多くの方々が参加できるチャンスを作っていただいたことに心からの敬意と感謝を申し上げます。世界を超えて届けられる声がアメリカで形になって実現へと向かうことを沖縄から祈っています。これからもよろしくお願いします。Tamaki Denny. And here is an English translation of that same message. This translation was done by Hideko Otake. Thank you very much, Robert. I would like to express my heartfelt respect and appreciation for you, for the petition to the White House you created, and the opportunity in which anyone who loves Okinawa could show their support. I hope and pray from Okinawa that the voices sent from all around the world would be heard and take shape in the U.S. I'll be counting on you, Denny Tamaki. That was a very nice message from Governor Tamaki. You know, what really struck me about what he said, the part about him praying from Okinawa for this situation, that the construction at Hinoko, the landfill, would somehow be stopped. Tonight I went to a gathering of Uchinanchu here in Hawaii at the beach at Waialae Beach Park. The event was organized by Norman Kaneshiro, for those of you who know him. We had around 30 or so Uchinanchu from Hawaii. And this was a time where people could just share their thoughts or feelings about the situation at Hinoko and what's going on. There was one person there, I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, but someone at this event also was talking about prayer. And she said that to get things done, to accomplish the goals and dreams that we have, it takes 50% action and 50% prayer. So we need both action and prayer. And that really struck me because that is similar to what Governor Tamaki just said about how he was praying from Okinawa that somehow some way this landfill would be stopped and we can eventually permanently stop the construction at Hinoko and we can save the land and sea of Okinawa. And we've been talking a lot in these videos and on social media about different things we can do, different strategies that we can use to help try to save Hinoko. And I think this is a really important one. This is prayer. We cannot just do action. We should continue doing action, but we cannot just do action. We must also pray. We must continue to pray every day. I do pray for Okinawa. I pray for Hinoko. And I pray for all of you. I pray for other areas of Okinawa as well, such as Takae. I pray for Governor Tamaki. I pray for the protesters, especially the elderly protesters at Henoko. And I pray for guidance. I pray for guidance from heaven, from that they would help us. The name for God in Luchu, the Ryukyu Islands, is Chinmamun. Chinmamun, that is the ancient name for God in Ryukyu. Chinmamun. It literally translates to English as something along the lines of the Lord and Protector of Heaven. Our ancestors, the people of Luchu, have prayed to Chinmamun constantly for generations, since time immemorial. And we also must continue to do the same. This situation we are currently facing at Henoko is truly beyond our control. It's beyond our means. We, as Uchinanshu, are a small group of people. We're only around 1.6 million roughly worldwide. 1.6, 1.7 worldwide. The Japanese population is 125 million. The population of the United States is over 350 million, 400 million. The Okinawan government is small. The Japanese government is much bigger, and the United States government is even bigger. Both the Japanese government and the US government have far more money, far more resources, and a lot more power than the Okinawan government does. So, we are truly the underdogs here. This is David versus Goliath. We are a small group of people up against a giant. Not just one giant either, two giants. Japan and the United States. But if you're familiar with that story of David versus Goliath, you know who wins. It's David who wins. He defeats Goliath, the giant, against all odds. David was just a poor shepherd boy. All he had was a sling and a stone. He was up against the most fierce and powerful soldier in the land. And yet David was the one who emerged victorious. David was a man of prayer. He was far from a perfect person. He committed a lot of sins. But still, he had faith. He had faith in heaven. And it is through this faith that heaven helped and honored his request. And the heavens used David to defeat the enemy soldier, the giant, who was invading David's homeland, the land of his ancestors, the land of his family, his country. So yes, I believe we should follow the example of Governor Tamaki, and we should follow the example of our ancestors. And we must turn our hearts towards heaven. And we should ask heaven, we should ask Chinmamun, God, and we should petition our ancestors to help us through this situation. And then I believe we will emerge victorious. The god of the Ryukyu Islands, Chinmamun, as well as our ancestors, always watch over us, and they are always with us. We should ask them for help and guidance. Since the beginning of time, they have sustained us. Even though Ryukyu, we are just a small group of islands, surrounded by larger nations, we have thrived since the beginning of time. We had two golden ages during the Ryukyu Kingdom. We were the nation that China, historically the greatest nation in Asia and one of the greatest nations on earth for many centuries, they called us great. Lu Chu. They called us great. They thought very highly of us. The greatest nation on earth thought highly of us, the people of Lu Chu. So we should be proud to be Uchinanchu, to be Shimanchu, to be the people of Lu Chu. And we should continue to trust in the God of Ryukyu, Chin Mamun, as well as our ancestors.